Weekends are for actions, and Monday like these are for reactions of all the actions that went down this weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Monday edition of Sport Today on the biggest sporting platform on 103.5 FM, broadcasting live from Bodija. Here in the beautiful city of Ibadan, the brown city you might call it. Yes, on the show, this is a beautiful Monday afternoon. We take a dive into several actions that went down this weekend in the ever interesting world of sport. From basketball, 4 games went down early hours of this morning. A good result for some teams. Teams like Golden State Warriors lost early hours of this morning. We'll look into the action right there in the world of NBA. Don't forget that the Basketball African League is still ongoing. A good starter for Rivers Opers. I will look into their performance on the show also this afternoon. Don't forget the world of Formula 1 also. Max Verstappen back to winning ways right there at the Japan Grand Prix. We'll talk about football on the show this afternoon. The people's game, both from the foreign and from the local scene. Just yesterday we saw the dramatic reactions from Shooting Stars fans right there at the Lake and Salami Stadium at Damasiga. Shooting Stars up against Ikorodu City ended in a goalless draw. I will look into the Oriental Derby also, where Nyimba play against the Abia Warriors. A victory for the People's Elephant yesterday. Right there in the Premier League. The Manchester Derby also went down yesterday, goalless between City and United. We look into Brentford against Chelsea, which also ended in a goalless draw. Don't forget that Liverpool lost yesterday against Fulham, freshly gone. We talk about PSG winning the league this season. These are many more stories that will come your way this Super Monday afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, in case you don't know, my name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. You can simply call me Purity. You're your baby boy on and off the radio. And of course, we are back again like we never left. And this afternoon, I will not be alone on the show. I got my crew with me. And together, we take you through the ever sensating, ever controversial world of sports. I got Samuel Akin today in the studio this afternoon, the one we call City Boy. And of course, I got Ebo in the studio. City Boy, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Sport Today.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Ayomiko. Good afternoon to you, Ebolu. Good afternoon to our esteemed listener. Most especially the sporting fans. Of course, it's always a pleasure to be back in the studio after an eventful weekend of actions, because it was very, very interesting actions over the weekend. And just like you mentioned, that Mondays like these are for reactions and the evaluation and the review of the actions that went down across different centers, not just in the world of football, of course, across different sporting activities, because it was a very, very interesting weekend filled with sporting activities, exciting activities. From the world of Formula 1, we witnessed the third Grand Prix of the year, talking about the Japanese Grand Prix, where Max Verstappen, the defending champion, back to winning his first Grand Prix for the year. And also we witnessed the Rivers Hoopers, the commencement of the Basketball African League Bar 2025, the 5th edition, started on Saturday. And we saw how Rivers Hoopers, Nigerians only representatives, doing very, very well. What they start to this season, they've been excellent, winning their 2 first matches. A good one for them. So in the world of football as well, from the Nigerian Premier Football League, also the NNL, we saw actions. It was a very, very action-packed weekend in the world of football. Expectedly, PFL did not disappoint. We saw actions, we saw drama, we saw so many controversy at the Lake Salami Stadium yesterday. So let's just jump into the conversation, because even before we go to Europe, there's a lot to talk about in the MPFL.
A lot. All right, Ebu, welcome to the show again.
Yeah, it's good to be back again this Monday. Interesting results over the weekend. If you are looking at the different leagues, and I think the general consensus amongst most fans of the biggest clubs will be, some disappointment. If you're looking at Liverpool, we've been talking a lot about Liverpool and, that they have secured the league. But, they'll have to wait, ideally, 1 extra week, before they can be crowned champions. But unfortunately for them, Arsenal too also didn't get the results that they wanted. So Liverpool know that it's still a matter of when. Then the Manchester derby also, 2 goalless draw. Neither side was able to get the win. Onana having a brilliant game. Brentford Chelsea too, goalless draw. So it will be very interesting to go over the games, and I'm looking forward to it today too.
All right, let's start with basketball this afternoon, shall we? From the foreign scene, we saw 4 games that went down right there in the world of NBA this morning. Good one for Golden State Warriors. They lost at home to Houston Rockets, 106-96. Also, we saw Milwaukee Bucks securing victory earlier as of this morning. Also recording 111 points. New York Knicks secure victory against the Phoenix Suns. But then the big one happened in the African continent. Seeing the Rivers Opals. They played their game, of course, their second game in the Bar African League, and they won against the Rabat. They recorded 88 points in that game against 82 points. Back-to-back victory on their part. Talking about the Rivers Opals right about now, we saw them last season. They started well also this season, winning their first 2 games. Good one for the Nigerian side.
Yeah, very, very excellent start to their BAL campaign this season. Just like they are called the Kingsmen, and they are doing very, very well. Of course, they know that going into this season BAL tournament, anything less, they know that anything less of the final position will be a flop, owing to the fact that they surpassed expectation and they surprised themselves with their performance last season. Don't forget, they finished in the 3rd place last season, but they were unable to secure the playoff to the tournament proper. But this season, like I said, they knew that they just have to surpass the expectations. They just have to win their game. Just have to top the group and then qualify for qualify for the playoff that will be held in South Africa. But it was a very good one for them. They won their game against Stade Malien in South Africa. On
that's
Saturday,
our first game
against Stade Malien, and in the Kalahari Conference they also won yesterday against FU's Rabat. It's very, very good for them. That game was very tense. From
the first quarter of that game, it was very brilliant. The second quarter, third and final quarter.
Yeah, it was a very, very keenly contested tie between the two sides. But the likes of the new signings that they signed before they went to the tournament, they made a difference for them. I'm trying to get the name of the players here because it was a very, very good performance.
We have Kevin Amayo doing well in that both their first and second game, scoring 23 points just yesterday. Good one for these guys. I think they are getting things right compared to the last season rather. With the feeling third.
Just like I mentioned, they know it that they just have to surpass expectation this season. This season has presented another opportunity for them. Last season they did very well, reaching the third position, and failing to qualify for the playoff was not really good. But at least their performance, their progression in that BAL competition last season was good. But they know that they have another opportunity to actually do well. 88-82, that was the win. 88-82 points against Morocco. It was a close call. I'm trying to remember the name, Maduk Akek. He was very, very fantastic yesterday with 25 points, and he connected on 4 of 8 from the deep, while Kevin Amayo followed closely with 23 points. So these are the new guys. These are the new addition to the team roster before the tournament. It was a very, very highly contested game, a game marked with momentum swings and high intensity action. But they leaned on the rebounding dominance and perimeter precision to actually see the result. Good one for them. I hope that they will build on this and continue to impress. They have another game tomorrow. And they will have today to rest and recover, fully for that game against their next opponent tomorrow.
All right, let's wait and see what happens later tomorrow. Right there in the world of Formula One, the Japan Grand Prix that went down this weekend. Good one for Max Verstappen, coming back to winning ways against all odds. We spoke about the performance of Max Verstappen, and of course Red Bull starting very slow this season, but yesterday we saw a brilliant race from Max Verstappen winning that particular Grand Prix.
Yeah, Verstappen might not have won Grand Prix before this year. That was his first Grand Prix, but I can tell you that he has been very, very good. Yeah, the reason why Red Bull has third. Yeah, they are second. I think they are third.
They are third. We still have Mercedes.
Mercedes stopping. Yeah, the reason why they are third on the team standing with 61 points is Verstappen's brilliant performance. Because the second driver, Liam Lawson, you know that he has been underperforming this season, and that's why he was replaced by Yuki Tsunoda, of course, a Japanese guy who, of course, was hoping for a brilliant home race, because the race took place in Japan, and he, as a Japanese, was hoping for a brilliant home race, but it was not meant to be for him, because he didn't even make top 10 of the Japanese Grand Prix yesterday. So for me, I think Verstappen has been very, very good, and winning his first Grand Prix still shows you that, and it tells you that this guy is still got it, and he's still very, very good driver. For McLaren, there are two drivers finishing in the second and third position respectively. Talking about Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Now they are topping the team standing they have 111 points now. Mercedes second with 75 points, owing to the fact that George Russell and Antonelli has been good. Yeah. So for me, I think this season we can just say that McLaren are running away with the constructor championship already. It's still a long way to go, but when you look at the gap difference, 111 points. Second on the log is Mercedes with 75 points. Yeah. So Lando Norris has won a Grand Prix. A Grand Prix this season, and also Oscar Piastri. So two of their drivers have been very, very excellent, and we cannot say. Let's just see how it goes, because it's still very early to predict.
A long way. All right, straight to football this afternoon, starting from the local scene. This on the show from the Nigerian Premier Football League, we saw games that went down across several centers just this weekend. On Saturday, we saw two games. Atlanta won against Kano Pillars 2 goals to nothing. Better Insurance played a goalless draw right there in Benin City against Rangers International. And for Nasarawa United, we saw them defeating Aqua United by 2 goals to nothing. Ninja Tornadoes won against Economic Warriors of Maiduguri 2 goals to nothing. Goalless between Plateau United and Kwara United. And for Rivers United playing at home against Remo Stars, the league leaders. Rivers won the game by a long goal. Lobby Stars of Makurdi playing a 1-1 draw against relegation threatening Sunny Stars of Akure. Very interesting game that we saw. Castina 1-1 draw against Bayelsa United yesterday here in the city of Ibadan. Lekon Salami to be precise. Southwest derby game between the Oluyole Warriors and the Oga Boys ended in a goalless draw. Enyimba won against Abia Warriors 2 goals to 1. But then the major talking point happened in the Brown City yesterday. I know that a lot is going on social media space as we speak now. A lot of videos, pictures flying after 90 minutes of action yesterday at Lekon Salami Stadium. Shooting Star goalless draw against Ikorodu City.
Yeah, Shooting Stars, we've been discussing about the MPFL all over the past few months, and I think like every other league, time is going per se. So tensions are high. Coaching staff, fans, everybody is feeling the heat. And then if you quickly take a look at the table, you see Shooting Stars, they are just 2 points shy of Abia Warriors. Yeah. And then if you look at the we're talking about their chances for automatic qualification, they're about 7 points off. So it will be very disappointing for the fans. They trapped the players inside the stadium. They were very agitated. It was very clear that they were angry at the results, they were angry at the draw. And then we're also talking about the fact, was it not last week, of the cultists that attacked the players during training. Yeah, so it's just disappointing to see things like this happening in our local league, because we barely hear of things like this in the Europeans. It took the intervention of the police to prevent the players from accessing the dressing room. So yesterday I was at the stadium, and of course City Boy also witnessed that game. After 90 minutes, a lot happened.
Yeah, a lot happened, and
the sanction is definitely
of course we await and see what the league bodies will definitely do, because definitely we are going to get more of developing stories as regard what happened yesterday. It was an ugly scenario, a very, very bad scenario that has brought disrepute to not just the league, not just the club management, also to our league, because of course we should not be seeing this kind of behavior, fans violent behavior. But you could see that there are so many narratives that we've
Yeah.
seen that is,
So many angles, so many stories.
coming from what happened yesterday. And the first one that needs to be addressed is the fact that there were narrative that, Ikorodu City players were held hostage by the Shooting Stars management. And this is very, very sad that they have turned
News
this,
like these
yeah,
are
they
fine.
have turned this to media narrative just to ensure propaganda and do some kind of, because this is not true. What happened yesterday was the fact that the players and the coaching crew of both teams, they were advised by the police and security officials in the stadium to stay put in the dressing room, because the atmosphere outside was very, very tense,
very tense,
and was not unsafe at the moment. So it
for
was
anybody, not just for the players.
Not just for Ikorodu City players, even
for media guys.
Yeah, of course. Some of the media guys were even attacked by the fans yesterday, just to show you that the Shooting Star fans, they were not targeting Ikorodu City players. They were only expressing frustration, and their management, and they had every right. I'm not justifying what happened yesterday. Like I said, I've already maintained the position that it should not be happening in football. It should not be happening, and we know Ibadan to be a peaceful place.
Yes.
So that is even more ridiculous to see that Ibadan is known to be a peaceful environment. Adamasingba is always peaceful, very accommodating. Now we are having a fans violent conduct happening, so it's very, very devastating to you. But you should know that something triggered the fans, definitely. And now when you look at the issues at the club level, the fans have been pushed to the wall. They've been enduring. This was an impending issue. It was looming. It was meant. We saw this coming. Yeah, we saw this coming. It was meant to happen against Niger Tornadoes. But the win against Niger Tornadoes silenced the fans. And that's why you could not see the reaction. Yesterday, if Shooting Star had won that game, this would not have happened. To this extent. You will never see any issue like this if they had won that game. So the issue, the fact that Shooting Star have been very poor in recent games, and the existing issue, the compounding issue of the President FA Cup is still there. Issue at the management level, especially. The fans felt that they've been kept in the dark. There's no proper communication between the management and the fans. There are so many issues. The FA Cup issues is still there. We still don't know. All right, City Boy, let's go for this short commercial break right about now. And when we return from this break, we talk more about what happened yesterday at the Lakers Salami Stadium at Damascus. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
On 103.5 FM.
Imagine having the freedom to work, play, and connect without interruptions. That is what fast internet means to us. At Highward Networks, we are passionate about delivering super fast, unlimited internet that is 6 times faster than the competition. Whether you're working from home, running a business, or streaming your favorite shows, we've got you covered. A reliable internet and 24/7 customer support ensure you stay connected always. So what are you waiting for? Join the iWorld Networks family today and discover a seamless internet experience. Call Jeffrey on 081 3058 9466 or visit our website www.iwn.ng to get started. iWorld Networks, connected possibilities.
On 103.5 FM.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. You are still on to sport today, the biggest in Southwest Nigeria. Yes, you can join the conversation live on Facebook at Honor 103.5 FM. We got Ayodeji Abdulateef Fashola saying we are all united family.
Thank you for joining us.
Definitely, we are all united. Well, no matter what happened on the field of play, we are all united. So let's continue from where we stopped. We saw what happened yesterday.
Like I was saying, the only undoing of some fans yesterday was the fact that they attacked some of the Ikorodu City fans, and they even we saw the report that they even vandalized the bus. That was their only mistake. That was the only the only undoing of Shooting Star fans. The fact that they reacted yesterday, you cannot blame them. Like I said, I mean, Shooting Star fans won the best fan last season for their conduct, just to show you how they've been very, very peaceful. So it shows that something must have triggered their reaction. So what are the things that triggered their action? What are the underlying factors? First is the poor officiating yesterday. They felt the center referee, the lady, I can't remember, Abiodun also, I can't remember,
Funke something, yeah.
Yeah, Fumilayo. They felt she should have awarded
Penalties
for Shooting Stars because there were several penalty claims that she felt her own decision.
In her own opinion.
Yeah, so Shooting Star fans felt that the officiating was very, very poor. That's one of the factors that triggered their reaction. Another factor is the poor performance of Shooting Stars players.
I mean, we saw the first
recent
half
games
dominated by Ikorodu City.
Although they tried in the second half,
yeah.
but not even that game, not even the performance that game. Their recent performance before they played against Niger Tornado, they've gone 7 games without a win. So it shows you that they've been underperforming in the second stanza of the season. And the major factor that triggered their reaction is even the fact that of the pitch issues, the management at the management level, the management are not taking responsibility. They are not, being they are not responsible enough to actually communicate with the fans in terms of giving them the accurate information about what is happening in the team. The FA Cup
saga is
still on. They were expelled for feeding ineligible players. Who are those responsible for that? They still don't know. So the fans felt they've been kept in the dark, and that was the only way they could have reacted. But they could have reacted without assaulting Ikorodu City. But the media officer of Shooting Stars actually came out today to actually debunk that they held the Ikorodu City players hostage, and also the supporters assaulting opponents and all of that. And they said that some fans, that some thugs and hoodlums, they were just disguising as fans yesterday. But we know that fans were furious yesterday. They were angry yesterday. We saw it, and they were they were not even taking it easy. I mean, they were
anybody.
Honestly, was not. That's why I say that it was not only they were not targeting Ikorodu City players. It was even the Shooting Stars management that they were ready to actually pass their aggression.
Even Shooting Stars player could not leave the field. Yes,
they could not. Both teams, the players, the officials of both teams were advised by the players that, look, you cannot go out. You cannot go out now. You need to just stay put in the dressing room because the environment outside was very tense and unsafe at the moment. So but for me, I'm still not justifying what they did.
Yes, definitely.
And I feel that we still have a long way to do in terms of fans education. We need to educate these fans that your reaction can bring so many grave consequences to the team management. Well, sadly, the team management will bear the consequences.
Definitely, they have to pay for the damage.
Of course, because you cannot assault the away fans and vandalize that, and you go scot-free. So it's quite unfortunate, but it is what it is.
All right, on the foreign scene also, we saw quite a number of interesting games that went down this weekend. Just yesterday, we saw the Manchester Derby game between United and City, which ended goalless right there at the Old Trafford Stadium. Brentford played against Chelsea, also ended in a goalless draw. Fulham defeating Liverpool by 3-2. Tottenham Hotspur securing victory yesterday, 3-1. Aston Villa playing against Nottingham Forest at the Villa Park. Aston Villa won the game by 2-1. Crystal Palace won against Brighton, 2-1. Also, Wolves won away from home. West Ham playing 2-2 against Bournemouth. And of course, we saw on Saturday, Everton against Arsenal ended in a 1-1 draw. Quick one, Ebun. You saw the Manchester Derby yesterday. Onana doing brilliant performance yesterday.
Yeah, brilliant game from Onana, brilliant game from Manchester United. I think it was an evenly balanced game on both sides. Both sides will be disappointed not to be able to, get the win. Especially Manchester United. I think they were you can say they were the better team in a lot
United, right?
Yes, Manchester United, the better team in a lot of ways, in a lot of species. But just unfortunately they couldn't get the win. And then it seems like for United on the days Bruno Fernandes is not in goal scoring sharp form, it just seems that they can't get the ball over the line. Even with Garnacho and Højlund up front, so it will be disappointing for them. It will also be disappointing for Man City in their push for top 4. They are now 1 point behind Chelsea again. The 5th spot should get them Champions League qualification, but Newcastle and Aston Villa are behind them. And if Newcastle win their game today against Leicester City, they will climb over them to take the 5th spot. So it will be very disappointing for Pep Guardiola and his side. This is game week 31, so we have about 7 more game weeks left. So there's really no time for dropping points or disappointing results. But good game from Onana. I think Amorim will be
happy for that performance.
Yeah, pleased with what he saw yesterday.
All right. In the French League One, we saw PSG winning the French League One title after their victory just this weekend. Just a long goal done and dusted for them, and of course the others will be battling for maybe second position, third position, or others will be fighting for the relegation battle. Quick one, City Boy, you saw PSG, different PSG. I must confirm to you this season.
Yeah, of course, it has always been their bet, right, to win the French League One. So I'm not
That's
surprised.
Why we call it the farmers.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not surprised. But the way Luis Enrique has transformed this team is really, really commendable. And the fact that they won the French League One, which has always been their bet, right, cannot make us not to appreciate what he has done in terms of changing the narrative, changing the team's philosophy. You can see that they are playing more as a team now. They are not relying on superstars, individual brilliance. They go all out. I mean, they have changed their transfer policy. They are getting young players. They are not getting high-profile players and all of that. I mean, and it's working for them.
Definitely.
They are dominating games, not only in the league, even in the Champions League.
Yeah.
So for me, I think they've been brilliant this season, regardless of the fact that they won the league on. Winning the league on for me is not a big achievement for PSG
anymore.
They have been winning it.
They are used to winning it.
They are used to winning it. It is their bet, right, and it has always been their title to lose. So it is when they don't win it that it's going to be a great upset. But winning it is not really and that's why you could not even see is that people were posting it and all of that on social media space, because they were meant and to win it. So, but let's see how they go, how far they can go in the Champions League. I mean, that is where I want to see if they have what it takes to actually go well in the European football. They've been brilliant this season, but I mean, still a lot to play for in the Champions League.
All right, the Champions League is back, and tomorrow we are ready for the Champions League. Guys, we need to see our BYA on the show right about now, but then we're back again later tomorrow, 1:30 Nigerian time. My name is Ayomikun Adeniyi. On behalf of the crew and of course the guys in the studio led by DJ Cole, mighty DJ Cole, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Stay out of trouble. I'm out of the studio.
On 103.5